this was for one of the biggest pharma companies, the client. And when I came in, a lot of pressure from the client in terms of, requirements, because there was no clarity from their side. And I was also seeing the developers and the team struggling, and they were not able to handle too many things. And we were not able to put a stop in terms of, putting a hurdle or, a line where we need to cross or where we shouldn't, even take up. So that's where I think, I was talking to the DC. I just informed her to take a better decision, not to overcome it more than what the team can take as part of change requests or more requirements for a release, so that, there is not much burden on the team. So I think that was one of the decisions which really worked out. And she also, uh, without my inputs during the call, she did take it up. That is one of the decisions which I impacted, I feel. Yeah.
So this was one of pharma client. So our project was to migrate a large volume of data from one application to another application. So there was a need of naming the folder structure and file names for the migration to the target application. As a result, we automated the process of naming this folder structure and file names, which was actually taking probably long hours to a 10-minute process. And this was one of the impacts that was done at my work.
We're working with a Fortune 50 electronics company. So what they used to do was to measure the voice of customer. They used to field surveys to understand what the customer satisfaction is across different customer journeys. Now, what is a customer journey? When you, let's say, order a laptop, online browsing experience to understand the details of a laptop is one customer journey. When you order for a laptop, order experience is a customer journey. When you try to set your laptop up once you receive it, right, that's a customer journey. So there are about 5 to 6 customer journeys that company has identified, and they wanted to measure satisfactions across each of these customer journeys. Now they field surveys and get responses in terms of what the overall satisfaction is and what the satisfaction is across all these 5 to 6 customer journeys. Now when we did the analysis of these survey results, we found out that for about 20% of the respondents, the satisfaction across different customer journeys didn't add up to the overall satisfaction, right? That means there are some customer journeys that the company is failing to measure, which are not capturing the voice properly. And we showed this analysis back to them. They went back to their drawing board. They redesigned the customer journeys. They changed all the customer journeys from 6 to, I think, 8 to 9, where they exhaustively stretched the customer journeys out to identify the more levers as possible from the consumers. When this redesigned survey was floated next year, the disparity between the voice not being captured had come to less than 5%. What we are essentially saying is there were 15% of the voices that were not captured before with the customer journeys that they had. Now it had come to less than 5% with the rechanged customer journeys, right? So that is the impact where a data story communicated well had an impact in terms of action and it being corrected, and the results were shown in the next survey.
So previously the client used to use the Excel sheets to understand the exports across the different commodities to the different countries. What was the exports for them? So this was very hectic for them. So the problem I worked on is most on the visualization part, to visualize the Excel data so that the client can understand and take the effective decisions on them. One more thing is that we made the visualizations quicker by making the process to run on the back-end side rather than on the front-end side.
I have completed 1 year of the journey in the with the project, where I can find that what we are showing that dashboards like KPI cards and charts, it will help the end users to get idea what we are showing exactly. So there I can felt as it's very good idea to end users to understand what we are showing, what he can understand easily. He can understand.
I worked on Sky project. That was my first project in Gramener. So I joined early stage of the project. I directly worked on back-end development team on a OCR module. The main project aim is to extract the large volume of data from the large volume of documents. The volume is around 6.3 million documents. Okay, so here we got a challenge to identify the language of the test before extraction. But then we deep dive into the tool, and then we identified there is a provision in the Open Tesseract tool to identify a script, not language. But our requirement is to detect the language. So one option is, so entirely we need to extract the data from the documents, and then I need to give to the test detection algorithm. But it will increase the timeline for the deliverable. So then we thought to give this step to the fast test detection. Some deep learning open tool is there to detect the language of the test. So instead of detecting the language for the all documents, we somehow we found some solution to reduce the work.
Thank you so much for all of you joining in, sharing this. Just keep checking with people, asking the same question and sharing what you just shared here. Because we ultimately, we're doing stuff, but people need to understand what we are really changing in the world because of that.